Have you ever wondered why so many people promise themselves that tomorrow will be different, but when tomorrow finally arrives, nothing really changes? They wake up with good intentions, full of motivation and excitement. Yet by the end of the day, they have done exactly the same things they did yesterday. It feels like someone invisible is pulling them back every single time they try to move forward. The truth is, that invisible force is not bad luck, and it is not a lack of intelligence. It is your own brain. Your brain has only one primary job, and surprisingly, that job is not to make you rich, successful, or famous. Its first responsibility is to keep you alive. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors lived in a dangerous world where every decision could mean life or death. Wasting energy could leave them too weak to hunt. Taking unnecessary risks could get them killed. Because of that, the human brain evolved to avoid uncertainty and conserve as much energy as possible. The problem is that the world has changed much faster than our brains have. Today, you don't have to fight wild animals to survive. You don't have to search for food every morning. But your brain still follows the same ancient survival program. Whenever you try to start something difficult, whether it's studying, exercising, building a business, or chasing a dream, your brain immediately asks one question: is this really necessary? If the answer isn't immediate, your brain chooses the safer option. It tells you to rest for a while, check your phone for just a minute, watch one more video, or start tomorrow instead. At first, these choices seem harmless. After all, what difference can one day make? But one day becomes 1 week. 1 week becomes 1 month. 1 month quietly turns into years. Without realizing it, people slowly build a life they never actually wanted. The biggest prison in the world isn't made of concrete or steel. It's built from small excuses that feel completely reasonable. And that's exactly why escaping it is so difficult. But here's the good news. Once you understand how your brain works, you can stop fighting against it and start using it as your greatest weapon. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that you can spend hours scrolling through social media without feeling tired, but reading just 10 pages of a book suddenly feels exhausting? That's not because you're lazy. It's because your brain has learned to chase something called dopamine. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical, but that's not entirely true. It isn't the chemical of happiness. It's the chemical of anticipation. It pushes you to chase rewards. Years ago, finding food, building shelter, or discovering something new gave our ancestors dopamine because those actions increased their chances of survival. Today, your brain can't tell the difference between hunting for food and refreshing your social media feed. Every notification, every like, every short video, every endless scroll. Your brain treats each one like a tiny reward. And every reward trains your brain to want another one. This is exactly why 5 minutes on your phone easily become 1 hour without you even realizing it. Meanwhile, activities that create a better future, like studying, exercising, learning a skill, or building a business, don't provide instant rewards. Their rewards come weeks, months, or even years later. Your brain sees that delay and quietly whispers, "Let's do something easier first." The scary part is that your brain doesn't know the difference between comfort and progress. It only knows which reward comes faster. Imagine a man standing at a crossroads. One road is smooth, bright, and easy. The other is steep, rocky, and difficult. Without thinking, almost everyone chooses the easier road. But what they don't realize is that both roads lead to completely different destinations. The easy road leads to comfort today, but regret tomorrow. The difficult road demands effort today, but freedom later. Every single decision you make is another step on one of those roads. Your future isn't decided in one big moment. It's decided by hundreds of tiny choices that seem too small to matter. That's why successful people don't rely on motivation. They build systems. Because motivation disappears, habits remain. And once a habit becomes automatic, your brain stops fighting it. Instead, it begins protecting it. That's the moment your greatest enemy slowly becomes your greatest ally. But here's something even more fascinating. If your brain can trap you, can it also be trained to set you free? The answer is yes. Your brain is constantly changing through something called neuroplasticity. Every thought, habit, and action you repeat strengthens the pathways inside your brain. Imagine your brain like a forest. The first time you walk through it, there's no path. But if you keep walking the same route, a clear trail begins to form. Your brain works the same way. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you build a stronger mental pathway. At first, studying, exercising, or waking up early feels difficult, but with repetition, it becomes easier, while your old habits grow weaker. That's why the beginning is always the hardest. Your brain is simply trying to return to what's familiar. But if you stay consistent, one day, discipline stops feeling like effort. It becomes your identity, and that's when your life truly changes. Remember, small actions, repeated every single day, will always beat big dreams that are never acted upon.
Now imagine yourself 10 years from today. There are only two possible futures. In one, you kept waiting for the perfect time. You had dreams but never took the first step. Years passed, and your biggest regret wasn't failure. It was never trying. Now imagine the other future. It wasn't easy. There were setbacks, doubts, and days you wanted to quit, but you kept showing up. One small action, every single day. Over time, those small actions became confidence. That confidence became success, because success isn't one big moment. It's thousands of tiny decisions repeated consistently. So ask yourself one question. When this video ends, will you go back to your old habits, or will today become the day you finally begin? Your future isn't waiting for motivation. It's waiting for your decision. Remember, your brain will always choose comfort. Your dreams will always demand courage. And every single day, you decide which one wins.